Cowboys Marshawn Kneeland, died by suicide after police chase in Texas. Officials say. This is Paulina Dodge of Fox News. The Texas Public Safety Department released a statement detailing the events of Wednesday night that ultimately led officials to find Kneeland deceased from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. According to officials, DPS troopers attempted to make a traffic stop around 10:33 p.m. when the driver, later identified as Kneeland, refused to stop. Authorities engaged in a pursuit but eventually lost sight of Kneeland's vehicle, ending the chase. His car was later found abandoned and authorities began searching the area. Kneeland was later found dead. Frisco police, which assisted in the DPS pursuit, released a statement saying that the abandoned vehicle was found by troopers minutes later and that Kneeland was believed to have fled on foot. Police said that during their search, they learned that Kneeland had expressed suicidal ideations. He was located around 1:30 a.m. Thursday. Frisco police said that the official cause of death will be determined by the Collin County Medical Examiner's Office, but he appeared to have died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. And of course, the Cowboys released a statement how devastated they are. This young man scored a touchdown on a block punt. Sam Williams blocked the punt in the game Monday night against the Arizona Cardinals. He scooped it up and scored his first NFL touchdown. He is a defensive end, so it's kind of a rarity. This was on special teams. Devastating. Teammates very upset, obviously. Was a great teammate. Quiet fella. Kept to himself, always smiling, always, in a good mood. Dallas has, had a tough year, obviously, at 3-5-1. Their defense struggling mightily. He was a part of that unit. Second-year player, Western Michigan. Started some games as well, and good player. And really, just a tragic situation.
Well, it just shows you. I mean, this is so much bigger than football and the Cowboys and whatever kind of season they're having. This young man obviously was in a very dark place, and just to show you how dark it can get for some people, especially around the holidays. This is a young man who had obviously every resource available to him to help him if he wanted that help. Between the Cowboys and their structure, the NFL and their structure, they have unlimited money, unlimited resources, unlimited professionals who could have helped this young man if he so sought that help. But some people get into such a dark. I mean, and here's a guy making millions of dollars. You would think is living the life. He's got every resource available to him. You wouldn't think this running from police would, number one, be obviously there was just something else going on here with this young man, and this was just unfortunately the trigger. But man, it's just a terrible story, and it just reminds you, if you're out there and a lot of people are going through a lot of stuff all the time, people who you would never guess, and everybody has their struggles. We all have our struggles, and we're all struggling to some degree even now. Every day, every week, every month, we struggle for certain things. Whether it's paying the bills or getting through things or dealing, your kids and your this and your everything else. And if you're ever feeling that, just, there are people, there's always help. There's always support around you, obviously.
Yep.
But it just shows you it can get dark to a point where it doesn't really matter how much money or how much power or how much influence you have around you. It's not enough.
Yeah. It probably was the case, Big D. Some could say maybe CTE, some issues with CTE. We've seen that crop up where there's been some wild behavior by players. Usually later on in their career, he was 24 years old. Did he just get himself into a situation where he was going to get stopped either with drugs or something on him, maybe alcohol, and he was embarrassed that he'd get suspended by the team? And he
obviously had a weapon on him.
Yeah, there's no way out. Well, I think just about everybody in Texas carries a gun in their glove compartment.
Exactly.
It's not that uncommon. But we'll obviously more will come out of the story. Speaking of that, the NFL has offered any resources that the Cowboys need as far as counseling. They are on a bye week this week, fortunately for the club, getting back to the business end of the football, because obviously this young man's life is far more important than football. But it just so happens to be that the Cowboys, where they train, the Ford Center, is actually quiet right now. Lights are out. All the podcasts are off this week. They take a break. A lot of fellas fly all over the world to visit family and friends and take trips, take a little break, not necessarily over the world, but all over the United States. And so it is a shutdown time for them. They come back and they play the Las Vegas Raiders next Monday night, and the Raiders, who we just spoke about a little bit earlier. And so it's probably a blessing that the Cowboys do not have a game so they can bury this young man. Just a shame. We feel for his girlfriend and his family. Our hearts go out. I will follow up as story unfolds, more so, Big D, after we get something back, obviously, from the coroner's office.